Hello, this is Craig Borax from Title Engineering. I'm going to be doing a short video this afternoon demonstrating the different methods you can use to send profiles or load profiles for your tests onto your Synergy controller. The first method is to manually enter the profile step by step from the touchscreen or remotely through the same interface using WebTouch Remote. You can also use Synergy Manager, which you can download from our website, and that can be used to edit profiles. With the full version of the software, you can then transmit the profiles through your network or via RS-232 or Gpib to your controller. Or without the full version, you can copy the profile to a USB flash drive, welcome it over to your controller, and load it up from the program screen. You can also drag a profile edited on your PC with Synergy Manager to the controller's built-in FTP server. And finally, you can send the profile step by step by transmitting it through your network, RS-232 or Gpib interface. Let me do a quick demonstration of some of these methods. First of all, to manually enter a profile through the touchscreen is straightforward. What I'll do here is open up WebTouch Remote, which shows you the user interface that's local on the touchscreen but viewed through your browser. So from the program screen, I can open up and add a step, follow the wizard. Let me create a set point at 25 degrees C. And a humidity of 50%. And a time of 2 minutes. This means that the profile temperature and humidity will go from the previous set points of the last step or the steady state set points, if this is the first step of the program, to the new set point, temperature and humidity, in 2 minutes. And you can also trigger some events or operate the dryer or other humidity control modes. So now I have a step. I can then save the step. I'll give it a name. Let me call it demo. So I'm going to save it to the local storage card. You can see that the loaded program is demo, and I can open up another profile. Arrow, for example. Program loaded successfully, and now I have this new program called Arrow on the machine. Now, what I'd like to also show is how we can edit a profile using single commands through the serial Gpib or network interface. And to do this, I'm going to open up SimpleCom. In this case, I'm going to connect it through the RS-232 port. I could also use Gpib or TCP/IP. SimpleCom is a free program that is available from our website at titleeng.com. So what I'll do is I'm going to go to the technical manual, and there's a little section in the back. This is the Synergy Nano Technical Manual. There's also one available, a similar page in the Synergy Micro Technical Manual, but on page 327 of the Synergy Nano Rev A Technical Manual, there's a series of commands that shows you how you would load a profile by sending each step one at a time saving the profile, then executing it. What I've done for the purposes of the demo, I've extracted those commands into a simple notepad txt file, and for the purposes of the demo, I can now copy these steps into SimpleCom. First, let's make sure we're communicating. So the *ADN command shows me that I'm communicating with the controller and the serial number and a version. So what I'll do is I'll copy these commands one step at a time. You can do this manually, or your program, if you write a program, you could also send these commands that way as well. So I go through the list, pasting them into SimpleCom. Transmitting them through the serial port. When I've sent them all, the last few steps are the stop step, the file save, file load, and run. Let me get to those. Okay, so now I'm going to do the final step, the saving step, and if I go back to the touch screen, I should see, if I open up the program, open file menu, I should see the new Tesla program. So there's the Tesla program, but rather than loading it, I'm going to leave the arrow program loaded, and I'm going to use the command syntax file open to load the profile. So if I go back to the touchscreen interface, I can see now I have the Tesla program loaded. And lastly, I can use the run command. I'm going to run from 2, which means I'm going to run it starting at step 2. I can choose any number from 1 to the final step of the program to start from. So let me start at step 2 to demonstrate this feature. And I go back to the program. And you can see I'm running line 2. I go to the run screen. It'll show me my set points. It's highlighting the step that's running. Tells me the total time of the program. So that's how I would load a program using SimpleCom, the RS-232. As I mentioned, you can use any of the other communication methods that are supported on your controller. TCP/IP is always supported on all our controllers for network Ethernet connectivity, and Gpib is optional on the Nano and built into the Synergy Micro. Lastly, I just wanted to point out one other thing. The Synergy controllers support an FTP server. So if I take a look at the FTP server, I can find in the list of programs the latest Tesla program, which is right here. One of the things that I can do using a standard Windows application, Windows Explorer, for example, I can take my Tesla program, copy it, and paste it to my C drive, or I might want to rename it Tesla Rev A. So I now have a new Tesla Rev A program. I can copy this back to the controller, paste it in using the FTP server, and when I go and browse the FTP server again, I see I have the new Tesla Rev A. And from the WebTouch Remote interface, if I stop the program that's running, I can open that file, Tesla Rev A. So I've demonstrated a few methods that can be used, the manual touchscreen and WebTouch Remote for creating profiles, and also SimpleCom for sending the commands to load the profile step by step, as well as using the FTP server to copy profiles to your controller and off the controller. Thanks very much for your time. Be sure to visit titleengineering.com or titleeng.com if you'd like to see some additional videos or product information. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.